next week's Tuesday, June 5th, 2018 at 4 p.m. Carroll County Board of Commissioners meeting, just by statute, for us to meet with all the joint meeting with the city county governments from our county. It's just meeting the statute guidelines set by our guidelines that we're doing. So we're not required to have anyone here. We don't have to have a quorum or anything. It's just point of information. With that being said, we'll call the Carroll County Board of Commissioners work session for Thursday, May 31st, 2018 to order at 4 p.m. We have no presentations today. We'll move in right into the work session. Item number 1 is the review and discussion of items for the June 5th, 2018 Board of Commissioners meeting. We'll start, as always, under the financial section number 8.1. Lehman will give us a financial recap. If you got any questions today, he's here. He'll give us a full recap down to the latest he can. Item 8.2, we'll turn this over to Lehman Stevens for our FY19 budget resolution. Lehman.
Well, again, we pretty much in the budget work session. We went over everything pretty much on that day. There are a couple of things that I want to go over that we did not. On the special revenue funds, after I presented the budget, I met with the user board from E911, and they wanted to increase the revenue $10,000 to reflect an increase in the prepaid fees. And then we also put that $10,000 in the salary line. So the E911 budget has changed to $2,1,661,000. Also, since we had our meeting, we received word that we have received additional grant funding for the drug cohort. Our total grant is going to be $252,000. And again, this is in Judge Hightower's drug cohort. And it's to provide one full-time position and all the benefits, and then other fees such as counseling. So at this time, I will be asking the board in the resolution to hire or to add one full-time position to the date fund. One other thing that we did not go over in the budget work session that I want to just make you aware of. Again, we really had no change in fees except at the solid waste transfer station. And we have received notice of increases from Waste Management for their services and for hauling. So we are recommending that we go up on the tipping fees for the residential, commercial, and industrial from $39 a ton to $42 a ton, and raise the minimum amount from $16 to $20. And then on the vegetative waste to go up from $39 to $50. And this is because of the cost that we're now having to haul this to another landfill where we used to chip it ourselves. So we actually have lost money, and we need to increase from $39 to $50 a ton.
Is that going to cover the expenses?
It will. We computed the expenses to be about $43, some depending on, again, the fuel charges. We need to have some extra for increases in fuel prices.
Any questions for Lehman?
Mr. Chairman, it would be my recommendation to support the rural library system for a one-time payment of $50,000 from either our general budget or SPLOST if allowed, but subject to entering into an MOU with terms of how the funds will be spent, and to delegate the authority to the chairman to approve the MOU terms. Could I please add this to the agenda for Tuesday evening?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Any further questions?
What did you put that as? What
Oh, under the budget, 8.1.
Oh, okay. So are we going to discuss it now, or?
8.2.
8.2, I'm sorry.
Yeah, if you've got any questions, yes, you can ask them.
Yes, I would like to know what the situation is. My understanding is we didn't have money to do that. My understanding is that the library system asked for an increase of $50,000. They wanted it to be on an annual basis and whatever. So tell me where you're coming from.
Okay, this would come out of the contingency line that we have about 124,000, so it would take 50,000 out of that. It would be a one-time gift, and it would be subject to the MOU of how the funds are to be spent. So it would not be an annual gift at this point.
So we're already taking from contingency? Is that the only place we've got any money?
That's his recommendation and my recommendation. Right now, we're at 124,368, I think, in contingency. Last year, going into the budget we approved, we only put 77 in contingency. So we're comfortable that we did not have to go there this year. Very comfortable, we're okay next year if we use it here. However, we're hoping it might be a SPOS item, and we may not even have to use that. So according to how the MOU and what we find out before Tuesday night, we'll do a full presentation. And being the gifting, it gives them the 1 year for the board to put together a plan to come back as they put their new board members in place to present to us what they need in the future. I think that's the question that's not being able to answer totally right now.
Correct. They have new staff, new leadership, and I think we need time to have them use the word explain or show how our current $250,000 is being spent, as well as what needs, if they need more, as to whether we
Before we put
change
more
that a
money
dollar
in the
amount.
budget.
Okay, so this is what you're recommending at this point, is to pull 50,000 from contingency that's in the budget right now, put it in the West Georgia Regional pot.
No, a separate line item, completely separate line item of $50,000 to go to the West Georgia Regional Library System.
Okay,
It would not increase the $250,000 to $300,000. It'd be just a separate, separate dollar amount of $50,000 as a one-time payment, contingent on the MOU that we come up with them.
okay. And then that is to be used to divide amongst all the libraries evenly?
That's what we don't know yet. That's what the MOU will say.
Okay, well then, I think
The only
my approving that is going to depend on what.
Correct.
Because number one, we're taking budget money from our contingency. We hadn't even started the budget year
Correct.
yet, and we're taking that, and we had no money to do anything for, we just skipped by on all of the public safety and that kind of thing. And I know they need it, don't get me wrong, but I hate to take away from contingency, and we hadn't even gotten there yet. Because somebody's going to come up with something else.
I understand.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions for Lehman?
But there may be, one more, there may be a chance, it could be a spliced.
Absolutely.
Yes, yes.
And then we would not have to take out of contingency at all.
Okay. And then, do we have spliced dollars? What category would that?
There's still money in the undesignated, Vicki. $500,000 less than last.
Yeah.
I
Now,
hate to
any
take
further
it away.
questions?
Okay.
Seeing none, we'll move to item 8.3. We'll call on County Attorney Stacy Blackman for transportation purposes here for T-SPOS.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. You have in your packet a list of transportation purposes that we would propose using in the intergovernmental agreement that we're working out with all the cities on how the T-SPOS funds would be used. And so we recommend tracking the statutory language. It's comprehensive, and will give you all the projects that you need to do over the 5 years if this is approved at the ballot in November. So it's roads, bridges, and street purposes, acquisition of right-of-ways, renovation and improvements, relocation of utilities, improvement of drainage, patching, leveling, intersection improvements, road signage, borrow, pent materials, any capital outlay projects, equipment used for constructing and maintaining roads, and all accompanying infrastructure and services related to those purposes. And then we have to use at least 30% of the amount spent. That would be consistent with the statewide strategic transportation plan as required by the statute.
Any questions for Stacy?
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
So do we vote on anything on Tuesday night regarding?
You don't have to.
Yeah.
It'll be in the intergovernmental agreement.
That'll be set up.
But you could if you wanted to.
But it's intergovernmental with all the cities.
Right, and that'll be voted on hopefully in July, the intergovernmental agreement.
Okay, where does Rooteville come into this?
They're a party as well.
Okay.
All right, any other questions? Seeing none, we'll move to item 8.4. And Commissioner Morgan, I apologize, I do not see Pavielle here, and I think you were going to cover this, and I
Yes.
failed to ask you, but.
She couldn't stay
Item
today.
8.4,
This is just the same as we did last year to approve the agreement with Three Rivers for the rural transportation. So every year we have to approve the agreement with them. So it's the same. I believe the dollar amount is a little different because this year we'll have a full year or close to a full year as soon as the vans arrive, and we'll start the rural transportation program.
Did we budget that full amount?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
35,000.
How much?
35,000.
Thank you.
I think it was 17,500, excuse me. But yeah, we're hoping to start July.
any other questions? Seeing none, we'll move into item 8.5, FY 2019 liability and risk management insurance bids. Call on Joe Pilgrim.
Thank you, Commissioners. This year we actually had two local agents that put a proposal together for us, which are very strong. J. Smith Lanier, which is the current agent, has been our agent for a while, and Carroll Realty and Insurance. And, we have some great numbers to present y'all this year, which are lower than last year, significantly lower. This is through competition, but I also want to say, I want to thank the county employees and staff and department heads, Ann and Mr. Stevens, and both taking leadership roles in some of the safety and our claims history. And we've been, for the last couple of years, been more conscious on our claims. We've been watching it. We have a safety committee that meets countywide. So we're watching our claims. We're making sure we're not doing it. We've worked closely with the attorneys on our claims and trying to bring some of that under control so we can lower it. So through the competition and through also having a great claim experience over the last 2 years, we've seen a reduction in our premium of about $140,000 this year. This is the interesting thing was both these numbers came in, and there's $254 separating the two bids. There's a few issues with one covering one thing a little bit more than the other, but they're pretty apples and apples quotes. That represents a 0.0004% difference in their premiums. But based on some of the property coverages that we had, based on our past experience, that we've had excellent service out of J. Smith Lanier. They've done a good job. They actually have helped us with some of our claims history and bringing in experts that have helped us with driving and stuff like that. So we're seeing experience. They are the lower number, the $254 less, and we are recommending to go with them.
Any
But if y'all would like
questions?
to go into a
Yeah.
little more details on like getting into like the coverages, we'll be glad. I've got all the proposals here and be glad to go through that with you.
That bottom highlighted paragraph on.
Yes, that was highlighted in their proposal, and those are not, we did not take those numbers into consideration when we were evaluating it. So we would be comparing some apples, so we would be comparing apples and apples, but we are working and looking with the fire department and bringing that and hopefully be able to bring in $3,000 in savings if we go with this Lanier quote for the continuing education.
Is that gonna cost an additional 20?
No, it'll be
Savings if we do
savings.
it.
That'll be a direct savings that we did not take into consideration because, that's just a service that they're providing for.
They're providing, okay.
It's really not a savings on insurance, but a savings on the training programs.
Right.
Like our fire department spends about $70,000 in training, and they're saying we can cut that. That costs $20,000.
So the county will see it, we may not see it in that line item, but through the fire department, we'll see the savings.
I think, and now we do the driver's ed, anything else that's pertinent that they provide that we do to help discount?
We do.
Okay.
In fact, we'll probably schedule another driver's ed class this year.
Through them that they help us with.
Absolutely.
They've been very good about that.
Yes.
And again, I just want to, both, that's about as good a numbers as you can get, and just, very proud that we had both of them. They're both great agents, and we're proud that they're both local, and
We like the word
have good numbers
savings.
here.
Any questions? Seeing none, we'll go to item 8.6, Correctional Institute Capacity Agreement. This is a standard capacity agreement we have to do. Well, Robert Jones is out. We're going to call on the Deputy Warden, Mr. Otis Wilson, better known as Big O.
Good evening, Commissioners. Glad to step in for the warden tonight, and we are just hoping that we will be able to continue to serve the county with our prison, with our $2,895,332 budget. We are still serving and saving the county estimated $2,498,248 as an operation cost. We, as you know, we have 2 fire stations that one completed and one are in the process of building. These are a great asset to the county, and I even would suggest that we have a state fire inmate fire program to train inmates that probably we might be able to one day help with the manning of the fire stations to save the county money.
Okay.
Well, wait a minute, I didn't get what you were up here for, though.
We have to sign annually a capacity agreement of housing the 240 whatever inmates.
246.
Yeah, so it's a standard policy we have to sign with the state to put in place.
Okay, and that's how many we hold?
Yes,
246, average 241 for the year.
it does
I
vary.
got lost in your story.
Yeah,
Thank you.
okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Item 8.7, each one of you will pass a piece of paper down. The budget work session on May 8th, Finance Director Lehman Stevens went over having a little bit of year-end surplus money, mainly because of not spending, but mainly because employee positions not filled. Challenged him to determine how we could do something for the employees, and in front of you, we'll put that in front of y'all Tuesday night to vote. How Lehman, Finance Director, made the recommendation to do a one-time bonus plan. Any questions on them? Seeing none. We'll move into the business session. Item number 9, 9.1, appointment community action. Do we have an update on the CAFE position for item 9.1? All right, waiting for Commissioner North. Okay, he is coming off and somebody will be taking that. All right, we hope to have that by Tuesday. Item 9.2 is Family and Children's Services. I think Commissioner Morgan may have somebody by Tuesday as a recommendation.
Somebody else has.
Or if anybody else has a recommendation. Item 9.3 is appointments to the library board. Clint Chance and Jamie Witten have agreed to reserve on that at this time. Anybody else has any recommendations? We'll listen to those Tuesday as well. 9.4.
Wait a minute now,
Oh.
Mr. Chance will come off December 31st.
Yes.
Okay, but he's agreed to serve
to-
till then.
Until then,
Okay.
yes. Item 9.4, appointment Planning and Zoning Commission. This is District 6. Item 9.5 is Appointment Development Authority, District 6. I think we're both still trying to work on those right there with both authorities. 9.6 is appointment to Pathways Center Community Service Board. Major David Jordan has agreed to serve again. If anybody has a different appointment, please let us know prior to Tuesday as well. 9-7, appointments to the Region 6 Behavioral Health and Developmental Disabilities Planning Board. Salita Cavender, and I think Michelle Morgan has maybe one to bring forth Tuesday.
Yes.
Okay, if that works out, or if anybody else has one in addition, Salita has agreed to serve. Item 9-8, appointments to the West Georgia Emergency Medical Services Council. Mr. Shane Bell and Chief Jimmy Bearden are both currently serving and agreed to serve again and would like to, unless anybody's got anyone different to look at. So that's all for the appointments. We hope to have most of those solved by Tuesday night. Item 9-9 is the abandonment Hutchinson Ferry Road. I think 9, 10, and 11 we'll call on Stacy Blackman. I think this is going to be the formal vote at this point on them.
Right, sorry. These are the 3 road abandonments that you approved the resolution last month to begin the process, and we published the ad and sent the letters to the adjoining owners. We haven't received any objections yet, so if you let me know if you have any questions about these. But we'll have a public hearing to see if there are any objections or public comments, and then we'll vote on the resolution.
We'll open up public right before this.
Right,
Okay.
right before each one.
Okay.
Thank you.
Can we do all 3 or open up public on
It'll
each
be
individual?
each
Okay,
one.
that's fine. Just
Sorry.
need to know to open and close. All right, that takes us to item 11 and 12. Roofville, demolition of a building with an intergovernmental agreement. We'll call on Commissioner Lee Powers, District 5.
I've been working with the city of Roofville about taking down that block building beside the city hall, and I've agreed to, if the board will approve, to help them do that, and it would be us having to pay the tippings fees,
What's the expected cost?
$10,000.
Why can't you use your money that you have in your assigned category for your district?
Well, I guess I can if y'all don't approve the splash dollars from it, but I was hoping we'd use the splash dollars for
Tear the building down?
And Charles, we're gonna use some of the blocks to fill, so it may not be $10,000, right?
Yeah, if we break up the blocks and don't get no wood debris in it, so we can use it as fill, then we can keep it, but if it gets a lot of wood in it, then we have to dispose of it.
And isn't the roof metal and all that, we can haul that and
And wood,
it is wood, and I thought it was all metal.
well, they would under the trust and everything.
But I think the intergovernmental agreement says it would not go over 10,000. That's giving us a max to work with Roofville.
But when we've done things like for Villarica or the city of Carrollton and the school board or whatever, they've had the match. I think it's a match or something, whatever that we've done, we just didn't do it. They had to pay us back at the cost. That's the thing of it, just, because that's not how, just giving you $10,000 there for that is not actually how it's done.
I understand, but Roofville, they don't have a big source of revenue coming in, so.
They have none.
So we like to try to help our cities out.
Then pony up.
If I
So, I
remember,
think
the
it's
city
in
of
your
Carrollton
hands.
has
It's
paid,
in your
city
hands.
schools has
Do
paid.
what?
I believe from experience that I've been on here, like Central High School paid to have a road. Carrollton City Schools paid us to have their parking lot paved. The city of Carrollton, I believe, paid us also to do a road out on, behind Jordan's Truck Sales. So I believe
Villarica
the
has
expectation
paid.
is they pay and get a better price than if they went with
An open quote.
an open quote.
Temple paid for the building we tore down up there.
Yeah.
Well, Lehman just planned to take that $10,000 or whatever it is out of my fund, and that'll settle it.
So, that's,
I mean, I'm okay with that.
okay. I am too.
That's what it's
I mean, I'm okay with it. We'll just take it out of the kitty. It's okay. I want to help them out.
Thank you.
And that is the last item on the agenda. Anything else from the board? Any questions from staff? Stand adjourned.